Alright, what's going on everyone? I'm Jeremiah from Sharks with Lasers, and today I'm just going to be going over how to use my templates and backgrounds and foregrounds for making your own designs. It could be just a real simple video to help you get started, and I'm using GIMP. This is the newest version of GIMP. I just changed to from 2 point something to 3.02 or something like that. Either way, it's the newest version of GIMP. Things are laid out a little bit different from what I'm used to, so if you see me looking around for a second, that's why. But either way, I choose to use GIMP because I've been using it for a long time. Plus, it's free, which means none of you guys have any excuses why you can't get this. Obviously, whenever you're doing any type of designing, art, anything to do with really with engraving in general, I highly recommend you're doing it from a PC, not your cell phone, ever. You don't want any type of weird compression issues or anything to happen when you're transferring it to the PC or to the laser. So, with that being said, I'm going to open up my folder here. Okay, so here's just a couple of my templates that I've made that I already sized perfectly. So, when it comes to things like the bottle opener and the fidget and the dog tag, these are already sized exactly to the size that I got them from Limitless Solutions. It's a brass provider, although I do make my own brass coins when it comes to things like bottle openers and fidgets and stuff like that. It's still easier for me because I haven't been able to get uh, large CNC and lathe just yet. I'm hoping that I'll be able to open up a small shop soon with three-phase power, so I'll be able to do more things, um, like making my own dog tags and stuff. But for the time being, either way, these are all sized based on Limitless Solution. Any type of rings here, none of these have been sized specifically because everybody's using different size coins. So I'll show you exactly what's going on with both of these right now. Um, at first, let's just go ahead and let's just pick the dog tag. So I just double clicked it because I already have it set up to load in GIMP. Any type of art files loads up in GIMP. And this is what you're going to see when it loads up, right? Okay, so everything you're going to be doing is in this clear. These little checkered box, this right here, this means this is clear. That means there's nothing there. It's translucent layer right there. It's just completely clear, right? So I'll come back over here. I'm going to go to backgrounds and I'll just pick one of my newer backgrounds. I'm going to show you guys a couple different things about these too. Now, here's the most important thing to understand when it comes to backgrounds or anything in general. Let me make sure that that's grayscaled. When it comes to engraving, uh, the colors have to be solid. Like when you're transitioning from one color to the next, when you're way zoomed in, of course you're going to see a little bit of shaded area. You know, you don't want a super hard transition, usually between the different colors, but the colors themselves should, when you zoom in, it should stay solid. 100% solid. Oh, see, like right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's one pixel, that for some reason wasn't solid. Which this is gonna be too bad, but it's a good example. It's perfect. I don't know why it's there, but it's a good example of what you're looking for when you're doing um, any type of vector backgrounds or anything like that. Oh, there's one more there. And just engraving in general. vector style. This isn't an actual vector, obviously, or when I had that little dot. But as long as it's smooth and solid, the different colors, um, you can use it just like you would a vector. Either way, so all I have loaded here is I have this background loaded, and I have the template for the dog tag. So all I'm going to do is come over here to, what are we going to call this? The selection tool. It's rectangular selection tool, whatever it's called. Either way, so we're going to select this whole thing, and I'm just going to hold down Control and hit C. You can also go to Edit, Copy. Then we're going to come over to here, and we are just going to simply paste it onto here. Now you can see this area right here. This was clear. Now it's filled in with the background. Obviously, you can see the background there's just a lot going on still here. You don't need. So all we're going to do now is we're just going to zoom in here. Not sure why it's showing that. It doesn't matter. Either way, okay. Zoom in, go from one corner to the other corner. Alright. Make sure the key is always to zoom way in to make sure that you got everything correctly done. So we have all this selected. I'm going to copy this. Control C or edit copy. And then we're just going to go edit, paste. I hit right click, oops, sorry. Edit, paste as. Paste as new image. Oh, wonderful. It's probably because I didn't merge these layers. Okay, there we go. Let's try this one more time. Sorry guys, told you, new version of GIMP and things work a little bit differently in this. Again, though, I'm just going to go to this corner, right down here, zoom way in, boop boop, copy that, edit, copy. To bring up the menu, like I'm doing right here, I'm just right clicking. Either way, went to edit, copy, and then again I'm just going to right click, edit, paste as a new image. Sorry if you hear my dogs in the background sometimes. I'm trying to muffle them out, but okay. So that's it for this. Like now you already have this background in there. Literally, all we did, we just took this, we pasted it onto the background. Then in this version of GIMP, let me back up. I'm holding Control and hitting Z to go backwards. Now if you look over here, you can see, is this full screen? Okay. There is 3 different layers. So what had happened before is I needed to merge all the layers together before I was able to go ahead and select it. What it does is it smashes it all together, and so the layers aren't separate entities anymore. It's all one thing. And again, like I said, I just came over to the one corner, zoom way in, just like that, and just pick the other corner. I'm just doing it twice just to go over it one more time, since there's a couple issues the first time I was showing you, and I probably not going to edit everything out. Either way, I'm just going to Control C or edit copy it this way. Either way that you want to do it. And I'm just going to again go edit, paste as, new image. And then there you go. Like I said, these dog tags are already sized to the exact size of the dog tags that you get from Limitless Solutions. So you might need to adjust them to a different size of dog tag, which I could show you really quick how you would do that as well. Okay, here's the template. All I would do is image. Oh, where do they have it on here? No. We'll just go to scale. And you can choose inches. Let's see what it shows. Okay, so right now, what I did was I hit select inches. And you can see the height is exactly, the width and the height is exactly set to, if you ever used um, one of the dog tags from Limitless Solution, then you know that this is a size. And you can literally just say you got it. It should be about equal the width and the height. No matter what size you get, they're going to be about the same size. So say you got some giant one. It's like 2 inches. It's going to go 2 inches. I'm going to hit tab, and it's going to adjust the height based on 2 inches width. The height would be 3.3494. Sorry, I got a little dyslexia. Either way. So you can just hit scale, and it'll enlarge the entire thing. It will cause a little bit of, depending on certain situations, like this, it didn't adjust it at all. But you don't want to scale things up unless you really have to. Scaling down is always fine. It won't ever hurt anything, but scaling up can be bad sometimes. It can pull the pixels apart and deform them as it tries to enlarge the image. But when it's solid colors like this, there's nothing to see. Like it won't matter if you enlarge it by scaling it up like that. Either way. So back to where we're at. We're at this point right here. So honestly, just like this would be really cool. Just by itself on a dog tag, and this would already be ready to go. Literally, all you do is just go to File, Save, or File, not File, Save. Sorry, in there you need to make sure you go to File, Export As, so that you can make sure that you exported it as a PNG file. Most other files besides PNG files use some type of compression to make the image a smaller size, like the file size smaller. And if it uses any type of compression, it's going to completely cause all kinds of weird issues with your engraving, whether you're doing depth or regular just engraving. It's even worse for the depth, but it'll even be bad for regular engraving. So basically, you're always going to want to make sure that you're using PNG. I think BMP doesn't compress at all either. I can't remember because I've just used PNG for so long now because I know it works perfect. Either way, so then you just save it whatever you want to. I'm going to see if I can't find a centerpiece. Templates. Let me just go back. Where would I have them? Let's see, I would think I probably have at least one or two centerpieces in here. I have them saved somewhere, and I need to find out where. Oh, here's one. We'll just make this one work for right now. Okay, so back to this. Okay, so there's going to be, most of these are sized for coins. So I'll show you this with a coin afterwards. But for right now, if you look at the top of the screen, right here, it shows the pixel size. So this dog tag is 974 by 1653, and this image is 2000 by 2000. So this image, even though it's not fully extending out to that, it's probably 1750 by 1750. We're going to need it to be under 974 to even fit in there properly. So image, scale. In this case, I'm going to scale it, but I'll show you how most of them fit with the coins automatically. It's only the dog tags where you're going to have to play around a little bit and do different things. I'm just going to go ahead and set it for 800. Then I'm just copying and pasting again. The copy and paste, the best way to do it is by holding control and hitting C, and then going wherever you need to go, and then holding control and hitting V as in Victor. Okay, so it's automatically going to center it to the middle of your boundary, your design area. Now again, once it's on here, I'm going to come over here to the right side, and I'm just going to merge visible layers and hit merge. And that would be it. That's how you put that onto there. Now that's already ready. I would say it looks like because of the hole cut out up here, that it's probably going to be better off, you know, somewhere like down here for the centering. But you're not going to get it perfect. You'll just have to get it as close as possible because of the hole cut out. Either way, right there, merge visible, merge, boom. That's ready to go. Like, you can just take this and you can open it up into Lightburn. You go to File, Export As, give it a name, load it up into Lightburn, and just all you have to do is select how many cuts you want to have, 3D slice, and then how many passes. I would do, for something like this, I'd do at least 150, maybe 200 passes. Okay, so next thing we're going to look at is, really quick, we're going to, templates. Go back here, and let's just take, it doesn't matter, any of these round templates. Okay, and we'll just just keep things different. I'm just going to go to the backgrounds, and I'm just going to choose a different background. Now, any of these, like you can see, these are just look exactly the same, except for one's darker and one's lighter. If you're using it for a background, like a backdrop, you could use it for a foreground as well if you want to have a cutout and then something inside of it. But generally speaking, you're going to be taking something like, let's just take this one, the dark backgrounds, just like this. And literally all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, right? And then we're going to come over to the background I just opened, which is where, here we go. And I'm going to paste it. I just did Control C and then Control V to paste. And already this is looking really nice. You could literally just use this if you wanted to. But we're going to take a look at this now. And I'm going to resize this back to the full size, the 2000 by 2000, because I set all of the rings for 2000 by 2000 as well. So the adjustments that you have to make will be very small. Let's just hit Control V. Okay, yeah, so you can see it is too big. So actually, all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Layer, Scale. I'm just going to change this to like 1500 by 1500. That's still too big, so we're going to go with Layer, Scale again. Change it to 1200 by 1200. Alright. I'm going to go here and just try to make it look like it's centered as best as possible. I think that's probably it. And then I'm going to go to the right bottom corner again. I'm going to merge visible layers. And then there you go. Again, this is ready. This is already ready to go. All you have to do, drag and drop it into Lightburn and use 3D Slice and you'll be good to go. Okay, I think I'm just going to call it here for this video. It covered just some of the basics, and I tend to ramble a lot, so hopefully it wasn't too bad there. Hopefully you guys were able to survive through all my rambling. But that's just to give you a basic idea of how to use the templates that I'm making. I have quite a few other videos coming up very soon. I'm pretty much just going to try to knock them out one after another to try to get a lot of the basic stuff covered with engraving. The next one's probably going to be engraving wood using just a couple different methods and different things with the diode laser. I don't have a CO2, and honestly, most of the time diodes are better for engraving high detail. CO2s are great for production. Sorry, I had to take a drink. CO2s are great for production, but they're not great for doing detailed engravings unless you know exactly what you're doing and you're using a compound lens and you got everything dialed in exactly perfectly. Then you can get some good results still with the CO2, but generally speaking, it's actually easier just to use like a $400 diode. That's what I use, OLM3 diode laser. I think it costs like 300 or 400 bucks. It's not expensive at all, and it's really nice. So, if you guys have any questions, just go ahead and ask on the Patreon. Have a good day, everyone.